33 today. It wasn't loud, no dramatic celebrations, no fireworks, just me, my coffee, my thoughts, and a quiet but unwavering sense of self. There is something about your 30s that hits different. You're no longer trying to impress the world, you're no longer shrinking yourself to fit into rooms you don't belong in, and maybe just maybe you're starting to realize that being a little self obsessed might actually be an art of form. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our Art to Heart podcast. Today is our ongoing series of episode 36. And today we'll be talking about the art of being self obsessed. I'm your host, Rena, and today we are going to deep dive into what is being self obsessed, not selfish, but self obsessed. When I say self obsessed, I'm not talking about narcissism. I'm not talking about being egotistical or blind to the world around you. I'm talking about being so deeply connected to who you are that everything else becomes secondary, like a background noise. Being self obsessed in knowing what you want, what you won't tolerate, and what version of yourself you are no longer willing to shrink into just to keep the peace. It's about putting yourself at the center of your own life story, not as a villain, not even as a hero, but as the author. Here is the part no one tells you. The second you start prioritizing yourself, people will call you selfish. The second you say no without apology, you're too much. The moment you stop people pleasing, you are difficult. But here is the truth: most people are uncomfortable with someone who is comfortable with themselves. And spend years, decades, honestly trying to be agreeable. Play small, be humble, don't take up too much space, be likable. But likability is a currency that never paid me back. Now, I like me. That's different. I started prioritizing on tasks which will align to my future self, not to current self, but to future self. Is it really mandatory that I have to do whatever I'm currently doing? Or are these people really adding values? Or is it an integer of 0, 1? So sometimes we are always taught to be selfless, where we don't prioritize ourselves, where we think about the people around us, and we often neglect what we actually crave for. Here is what obsessing over yourself can look like: saying no without guilt, taking yourself on solo dates, talking to yourself like someone you're in love with, setting boundaries that feel like a brick wall if they need to be, adulting your inner circle like your peace depends on it, but it does. It's very important to which of the circle you belong to. Self obsession, when rooted in self awareness, is powerful. It's not about being better than anyone else, about being better to yourself than you have ever been before. It's healing, it's and it's freeing at the end. So, now let's talk about strategies to practice healthy self obsession. Here's where we make it practical. If you're wondering how to start obsessing over yourself in a way that builds you instead of isolates you, here are a few strategies that have changed everything for me and also for people who have been part of their own self development journey. Number one, curate your inner voice. Pay attention to how you talk to yourself. A lot of the time, it's our mind which controls us. It's our mind which gives us negative thoughts, negative energy, or even as slight as saying this won't be possible to you. So whenever you have this thought where you want to do something and then you don't know whether to actually do it or not, just put a positive note in front of your mirror or in your laptop or in your wallpaper saying I can and I will. That alone will change a lot of way you look at yourself. If it is not kind, rewire it. Don't ever be saying anything which is going to hurt you internally, even to yourself. Imagine your younger self is listening. Would they feel seen or shamed? We actually have to start focusing on what we are going to answer our future self and how we are going to present ourselves to our younger version. Because while we were young, we have always dreamed of being something extraordinary. And have we actually worked to become that person will be the first question. Number two, put yourself on your calendar. Book time for yourself before the obligation. Solo dates, walks without your phone, journal time, creative hobbies. Schedule them like they are your meeting with your higher self because they are. You are the leader of yourself. Remember when everyone, whoever is in the corporate world, understand when there is a quarterly leaders connect or when there is a request from a leader, we put ourselves so much into stress to going through. So for your own self and benefit, put yourself as a highest priority, work on the deck of yours, which is your brain, and take yourself out on a healthy walk. Make sure that you understand who you really are. Number three, create a hell yes or no list. List what is full of S for you in relationship, work, lifestyle, energy. Anything not on that list is a no. Stop explaining your no, start honoring it. A very wonderful thing happened this week. A lot of people who I have been following for over a decade of years or who have been following for last few years have been achieving their dream in front of us. One of the prime example was Zakir Khan. He is a stand-up comedian, but he is less of a stand-up comedian, more of someone who touch your soul with his kind words and who make us understand why you have to do the thing you have to do. And he made a history this week by performing everything in Hindi. The entire stand-up comedy of his skit was performed in Hindi in Madison Square, and he set the world record saying there is no such thing as a language barrier, there is no such thing as fitting among, there is no such thing as pleasing people. You have to do the thing you love. Second, I saw Alex Hermosi getting a Guinness World Record in his live 100 mil lead launch. Something these people, these two have done extraordinary this week was being self-obsessed of the thing they love. They actually want to share poetry through stand-up comedian, that's Zakir Khan, and Alex Hermosi on the other end want to teach people how to actually proclaim 100 million in their business, and that's something he has been working for ages and I have known about it. I have been watching Zakir Khan for over a decade as of now, and I know he actually deserved it. We as an Indian celebrated like it's our Independence Day. So they are prime example in front of us. We just like this post, we just reshare their post, we don't really bother on what happened behind the scene. I'm someone who go through the history, who go through the future, and who understand why that happened in the present. So we have our legends alive today. You just have to pick up their pattern, put yourself in those situations, and do what makes you happy. Number five, sorry, it's number four. Set boundaries that don't need to be explained. You don't owe anyone an essay for protecting your peace. Boundaries aren't walls, they are doors with locks, and you decide what who and you decide what, who, when, and who has the key to be part of your wall, right? Who has that key to get into your fortress and be with you as a friend, as a partner, whoever, or even if your work is toxic, which type of people you want to be surrounded yourself. Number five, audit your circle. Who leaves you drained? Who inspires you to shrink? Who celebrates your win without making them about them? Obsessing over yourself means surrounding yourself with people who want you to be obsessed with your growth. I have always witnessed it is always the biggest support is from stranger, and I felt very bad to say this. My entire family, whoever is closer to me, does support me no matter what I do. But some of the time, the people who don't even know you exist come in a form of like a supporter, and they have been part of your journey for the longest. One prime example is all of you who have subscribed and all of you who like, share, and comment over a long period of this journey. So support does come when you're self-obsessed and start liking the work you actually do. Start putting up the effort you actually want to put on yourself. So trust the process, do what you want to do, but also understand that you have to prioritize yourself at a longer period of time. Celebrate yourself loudly. One thing which I don't do is this. Don't wait for milestones. Every time I have a target, every time I have something to achieve, or maybe, for example, here in the YouTube channel, I maybe have kept 13K subscribers to celebrate certain things. I don't really do when I hit 13K. It's just like another day for me. So just don't be like me here. Don't wait for your milestones. Celebrate tiny wins, mindset shifts, heal triggers, and moments of alignment. Whenever you have this small win, for example, don't celebrate too long. Don't be sad too long. It's something I was listening to one of the podcasts of Chris Williamson, and they were talking about this, why you should not be celebrating for too long and why you should not be holding to sadness for too long. You celebrate for 10 minutes, but you're sad for like 10 years. That does not understand, like I can't really wrap that myself around. So yeah, you need to celebrate for many things, and one is tiny wins. So post about yourself, take highly of yourself, document your growth, be your own damn hype team. Nobody's gonna hype you so good than you. So celebrate yourself, even if it is the smallest win you have currently done. Number 7, consume content that mirrors the energy you want. I will speak on this for like 10 more hours, but I don't have time, and neither I don't want you to hold up your time for this. Follow creators, authors, and voices that inspires you to go deeper in your self-love, not comparison loop. One of the things I started doing was listening to podcasts, whether it may be Modern Wisdom, whether it may be Alexa Mizi, whether it may be Deep Dive by Ali Abdul. All these people have clearly changed the way I have started looking the world. It may just look like listening to these gurus on internet who have just become viral from the last year, but if you look the background of these influencers, they have been working on themselves for more than a decade. They have been doing them whatever they are currently doing while they were in the teenage eras. So you should be very much thoughtful on who you are following and what you are consuming. It's going to affect internally and externally for the person who you are going to be. Here is a little reminder to everyone who is celebrating their birthday today along with me. Aging is not just about time passing, it's about alignment sharpening. Every year, I lose a version of myself that was pretending, and every year I gain a version of myself that's real. And this year, I'm very much happy that I have standing up for me for who I really want to be and follow up to what I really want to do. And I want everyone who are listening to this to actually be little self-obsessed on you and start putting yourself a little more ahead of priority than other, because when you're doing well, the rest of your circle will be doing well. So being self-obsessed when done right is just a commitment to becoming your favorite person to be around, even when no one else is watching. You're not selfish for choosing you. You're not arrogant for liking who you have become. You're not difficult for deciding to evolve. Self obsession is not about being the best, it's about being whole. So, for every one of you, I want you to say this: to falling in love with my own mind, to building a life that fits the real me, to obsessing boldly, audaciously, unapologetically for my peace, purpose, and power. And if that resonates with you, welcome. The art of being self obsessed has room for all of us. If you have something you have done over a period of time and you want to share it with me, please make sure to share it here in the chat box or the comment box, or you can feel free to drop a DM at my Instagram. I'll be happy to read, happy to share with our wider audience. And if this is to be share it with someone who is so selfless and they hardly have care for them, please feel free to share it with your friends and a family member. I'll be happy to have a new family around here. So thank you so much for tuning in. You have been the greatest subscriber of over the period of time. Your support really matters to me, no matter whether it is big or small. I highly encourage each one of you. And this year, I want you to take this forward. There is nothing such as small, one step at a time, and you will win eventually. Thank you very much. See you all in the next. Till then, take care. Bye bye.